We've got CNN reporter Marybel Gonzalez back. And Marybel, we're having a few issues this morning, but we're so glad to have you back with us. Talk to us about the current search and recovery mission.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. Well, I can tell you that those rescue and recovery missions are ongoing. In fact, you can probably hear the helicopter making its round in this area right now. We've been seeing that type of activity all throughout the day. It's getting closer to us now. And also right behind us along the Guadalupe River in areas just like this one, that is where the rescue teams are focusing their efforts. They're sifting through the debris that is along the river banks, and they're hoping to find anybody that may be stuck under that wreckage. Now, today we heard officials saying they're using heavy equipment to dig through those piles of debris, and they're also using the assistance of mules. We know that there are 6 mules right now on the ground. They're accessing those hard to reach areas that are not easily accessible by vehicle. And that group behind that effort, they're called the Mission Mules, and they have experience in this type of response. They actually did some recovery efforts back in September when we saw the devastation left behind by Hurricane Helene.
And we've seen a sudden jump in the number of missing, 161. Why is that?
Yeah, you know, Laura, over the last few days, and it wasn't really until yesterday that we finally got some sort of a clear idea of how many people were missing. Before, you know, officials didn't really want to release that. They didn't want to release inaccurate information. They didn't want to alarm the public if that wasn't the case. So they were very tight-lipped about the exact number of people that are missing. And it could be that they just simply did not know. They were getting reports probably as the days were going on, and it was unclear how many people still were missing their loved ones. But look, the scope of this disaster, Laura, is just far greater than anyone could have imagined. As it stands, over 160 people are still unaccounted for.
So what happens now? What does the next couple of days look like?
Well, I can tell you that those search and recovery efforts will continue. And I say recovery because, you know, these people on the ground and also anyone who may have survived this horrible flooding, they're facing treacherous conditions. You know, it's very hot here during the day. It's very humid, and that makes it difficult for these rescuers who are just working around the clock trying to sift through this very difficult terrain. But, you know, we know that right now with the passing of every hour too, the likelihood of finding a survivor just becomes less and less likely.